Hello and welcome to the Inspiration and Enlightenment Workshop. I created this workshop because of my daughter. She was reading The Power of Now, and I asked her, how do you like the book? I could see she wasn't very happy with it. So I said, what's wrong? It's a good book, And she's like, yeah, something is missing, I read the book, I know about the power of now, but what now? And after some digging, I found out what was missing was the practicalities. Yeah. So, many people like me, they write about enlightenment, write what enlightenment is, but they don't really write how to do it. Yeah. And the other thing they do is they take the principles of enlightenment and then they create a body of thought around it and present that whole body of thought to their audience. And I think I better just give you the principles and then some practicalities, and you can build your own body of thought around that. So in the Inspiration and Enlightenment Workshop, I try to keep the theory to a minimum and be as practical as possible. So when I write a post, I usually do it like this in 3 steps. I tackle a problem, and then I try to identify the underlying principle that can solve this problem, and then give practical ways of solving it. So at least that's what I'm trying to achieve. And if I don't, you can kick my ass. I think I managed to boil down the theory to 2 enlightenment principles. The first one is that we are immortal souls that have planetary experiences. The second one is that there is a higher self. Okay, so let's look at the first one. We are immortal souls that have planetary experiences. Yeah. So life is literally an RPG game. Yeah. Our ego is our avatar, and our body is our spacesuit. Yeah. So when we are born, we get our avatar and spacesuit, and then we live, and then when we die, we drop it, and we return to being a soul. And we can have a shot at the planetary RPG game as often as we want. Yeah. If you don't like the term soul, just replace it. Yeah, it's like think of it as an energy being or a little god or an angel, something like that. But please always remember that you are not a physical being. You are not your body. And you're not even energy. Yeah? You're, how can I say it? You are super energy. Why super? Because the energy your soul is made of is alive and is self-conscious. And with that, I'm not saying that physical things do not have any consciousness, like the sunlight. Yes, it still has consciousness, but it's more subconscious rather than self-conscious, like the energy of your soul. The core value we arrive is that we should have meaningful experiences. And we should evolve our experiences all the time. Why? Well, experiences get boring. Even the most beautiful experience, after you repeat it a few times, will get boring. Yeah? And that's why you see evolution at work everywhere throughout the universe. The evolution from cosmic matter, the aftermath of the Big Bang, the evolution of that cosmic matter into solar systems, then biology developing on planets, the emergence of sentient beings, organic sentient beings, and then the emergence of creative beings like Homo sapiens. And the universe is not just evolving just like that for the heck of it. No, the evolution has a purpose, and the purpose is ever higher ways, ever grander ways of experience. And of course, there is no evolution of experience if there is no evolution of consciousness. And that's where enlightenment comes in. In order for you to understand the basic evolution of experience is, of course, when we're young, we just experience what is presented to us. Nature, relationships, the relationships within our family and society, mostly. And then we also can experience things or situations that other people created for us, like a car. It's an experience, a created experience, or a cell phone is a created experience. Created situations, like a concert is a created situation, or social media. Social media are created situations. But the ultimate way to experience is to create your own experiences. And that's where the heart's desire comes in, which I always emphasize. The heart's desire is an experience that needs to, you need to create. It takes 10 to 20 years to create. Yeah. Being an actor, being a writer, being a singer, or whatever your heart's desire is. You create that experience. And while you create that experience, you acquire a lot of wisdom and understanding, which in return enriches and completes your soul. And that's something that the soul will take into the in-between life. Yeah. The second principle is that there is a higher self. So there is a cosmic being from which all souls emanate. And you can think of it like individual rays emanating from the sun. So there is no real separation between souls and the higher self. Although the souls are in their young ages not aware of the higher self. And that cosmic being is singular. It's one. Yeah, and you can call it any way you like. I call it the higher self. Now, it's not God, by the way. And in the early stages of enlightenment, you do not need to worry about God. Yeah, the early stages of enlightenment is agnostic. Yeah. So the higher self, the cosmic being, is at the heart of every soul. Yeah, and it's at the same time inside the soul, but also above the soul. And it guides and protects the soul, even while it is incarnate and has planetary experiences. And if the guidance and the protection doesn't work, it's always your fault. It's always because you didn't listen. Yeah. So the last thing you need to know about the Inspiration and Enlightenment Workshop is where is its place in this long spectrum of enlightenment. And in order to explain that, I divide enlightenment very roughly into two phases. The first phase is, for the lack of a better word, initiatory, and the second phase is the great work. And the Inspiration and Enlightenment Workshop focuses on the initiatory phase. And what is that? So it's mostly about making order. Yeah, and there are three activities or fields of activity where you need to make order. The first one is your life. The second one is your relationship, and the third one is your mind. So in order to get your life in order, the thing you have to do is you have to realize your heart's desire and start pursuing it. When you do that, your life circumstances arrange themselves around that singular goal and put it automatically in order. So again, in order to put your life in order, you focus on your heart's desire and the rest will follow. The second one is relationships. Relationships are also fields of experiences. And with like all other experiences, it's very important to evolve them. Now, some relationships we can't evolve them. And when that happens, as sad as it is, you need to leave those relationships behind. And the third, and by no means last, is making order in your mind. So, and what usually happens is that when people have a spiritual awakening and discover enlightenment, what they do is they read a lot of enlightenment literature to restructure their mind. And there's really nothing wrong with that. But there is a lot of psychological work to be done. And many people neglect that. And we have a lot of baggage, and that baggage is in our subconsciousness, and we are not really aware of that. Yeah, but that's where the practicality comes in. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give you the principles of how to attack the problems in your mind, which, by the way, reflect into your external experiences, and then try to give you practical ways of solving them, getting rid of them. What is the great work? The second phase. The great work aims at the modification of the body-mind vehicle. The Inspiration and Enlightenment Workshop does not cover that, and I don't want to go into that right now. If you think you're ready for the great work, just drop me an email and I will let you know where you can go. Thank you for watching this episode of the Inspiration and Enlightenment Workshop Slow Talk. Please help spreading the light with a share and a like. Thank you for watching. Love and light.